Author Introduction. Shalom, seekers of Unabridged Discernment. I'm your servant, a descendant of Abram, Yitzhak, and Jacob. And I'm here to clarify centuries of confusion, tradition, and intentional obfuscation surrounding the most sacred and powerful names in existence. The name of our Creator, and the name of His Son, our Mashyakh. We will be diving into sacred and secular history of the world to expose the lies and awaken Earth's inhabitants to the truth, the life, and the way. This documentary is going to cover every key point in regards to the deception which has caused lawlessness, confusion, and continual transgression against the Most High. It is not meant for everyone, yet it is intended to be. Unabridged discernment refers to a complete, unhindered, and fully developed ability to perceive, evaluate, and distinguish truth from falsehood, right from wrong, or wisdom from deception, without anything being omitted, limited, or diluted. Here's the breakdown. Unabridged means nothing shortened, nothing left out, full in scope. Discernment means the capacity to perceive subtle differences, recognize underlying truths, and judge situations with clarity and wisdom. So together, unabridged discernment means a whole, mature, and undiminished ability to see things as they truly are. Obfuscate, to deliberately make something unclear or difficult to understand. This term conveys the idea of concealing or misrepresenting the truth. In this documentary, we'll get down to the fine details of inspired research and discovery, the inspiration of which is from the Creator of all things. The esteem is only the Most High's to receive. I completely understand that He will, in fact, put this information in front of whom He wishes and when He chooses to do so. I am simply completing this task as He leads me to do it. Inasmuch you who watch will be in a bifurcation, or a road that splits into two distinct directions, when you hear and understand the unabridged discernment from within this channel. During and after, you will decide where you stand in your own hearts and minds as to what you choose to believe. That is the bifurcation. Your soul will tell you what to do. Unfortunately, many will not choose to believe what is being presented is accurate and will reject it. Some, after rejection, will come back to it because they decided to research topics contained, which they first rejected. Some will feel that it is true, but not want to accept it and turn away for varying reasons. Some will research immediately and awaken. Whichever the case, for whatever the person, it is not for me to decide. It is for the individual themselves. It is certainly understood that not everyone is meant to comprehend all that is being presented before them in this documentary. Rest assured that I've taken the extra time to study, examine, compile, edit, revise, produce, and revise again, so it is all comprehensive. There is an understanding in psychology that when a person hears something that goes against what they believe, or their way of life, as in how they choose to live it, the person can experience what's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort that results from holding two conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes. In other words, a state of mental discomfort that occurs when a person holds beliefs or opinions that are inconsistent, or that conflict with an aspect of their behavior. Here are some examples of cognitive dissonance. You want to be healthy, but you don't exercise regularly or eat a nutritious diet, and as a result you feel guilty. Here's another. You know that smoking or drinking is harmful to your health, but you do it anyway. You rationalize this action by pointing to your high stress levels. As you listen and watch these videos, search your heart to see what it is that you feel. There is only one truth. There is only one life. And there is only one way. I pray for you all to have discernment for everything that will be revealed to you. We must be sober-minded about what we are dealing with, and what may be dealing within us. Raphazim, or Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Because we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and authorities, against the world rulers of the darkness of this age, and spiritual wickedness in the Shemayim. About the author. I must clarify for the purpose of understanding this content and who made it, that I had been a follower of JC for many years. Admittedly, I had done the traditional ritual to JC many years ago in my youth, in similar fashion as to what's done in Christian churches around the world. I was a part, not set apart. I had been a member of the church, a part of praise teams, a youth pastor, and served on various other teams within several Protestant church establishments over a large portion of years. I have read the ESV translation in several months, and then went on to what I was told was a more accurate version, the KJV. As a Christian, I had deeply studied the King James Version for many years in pursuit of understanding and realized there were gaps and inconsistencies. I have always taken my studies very seriously. I was eager to find what was missing, to fill the gaps, to connect the dots. I continued to engage in my studies throughout the years, in the entirety of the text rather than just the late portion. I had started to realize things the Most High had said, which my faith denied were foundational principles, and that did not make any sense. Nor were my responses making sense when I went to those who were supposed to know the answers. I pressed on and prayed the only way I knew how, and was led to discover the basis of why it was all happening. I continue to receive much more insight, understanding, and discernment as I am open to receive more, as I petition for more from the Most High. Undoubtedly, I have realized that what I knew previously was nothing in comparison to what I would be shown. This stands true today. The most important takeaway is how I've grown in matters of what I believe as truth, based on right rulings, observances, and instructions found in the Word. The information provided in this series is gathered from trusted data resources and presented concisely. It is for educational purposes. This is an important undertaking based on historical evidence. It's highly recommended that you research what you see, hear, or read in this documentary. Closing statement. Previously, I held on to the beliefs and ideologies I had learned within what I will at this time refer to as my walk. I also held on to my understanding of the text as I had been taught. Admittedly, I had observed and repeated behavioral tendencies I had learned within the church. Living life going through the motions of established traditions, not stopping to think from where the traditions had derived. I was considered almost like a psychiatrist to those who sought advice, only reflecting what truth was discernible from the text I was studying. As a result, I felt I had influenced many people along the way, and as far as I knew, I truly did on a deeply emotional level. Therefore, I thought I was worshiping in spirit and in truth. I'm not a perfect person, but I thought for certain I would be saved simply by grace through faith alone, and by the works of my hands in those actions of touching lives, and by being an active member in the church community. These were undoubtedly part of the observed traditions established. I thought I was on the right path and leading others down the straight and narrow also. That's just the kind of faith that is close enough to keep people emotionally committed and asleep, instead of spiritually rooted and awake. Now I know what I didn't know then. There is only one truth. There is only one way. There is only one life. It all will certainly awaken you, freed, if you can truly see and believe. Mark, chapter 14, verses 37 and 38. And he came and found them sleeping, and said to Kepha, Shimon, are you sleeping? You are not able to watch 1 hour? Watch and pray, lest you enter into trial. The spirit indeed is eager, but the flesh is weak.